This video is an extension to my previous video on method overloading. I'm going to show you how to write a method overload that will save the property details of an object into a database. To do this, I'll be using the ActiveX Data Objects. So this overload is going to have one parameter saved to DB as Boolean. So that's a unique method signature. If we pass this version of the method a true, it'll save the data into a database. Now I've already made an Access database with a simple table in it. Let me show you it. Here it is. It's called Category. I'm using Microsoft Access 2010. Let's take a quick look inside this. I have a table called TBL People, and at the moment there's nothing in there. I've just got 3 columns: first name, last name, date of birth. I've also got an ID field there as well. And in the design view, you can see I have an auto number for the ID field. This is my primary key, so it'll generate the ID for me. And then first name, last name, date of birth. These match the properties of my person object. So let's write a method to put some data into this table. I'm going to use the ActiveX Data Objects, specifically the ADO command object, to execute an insert statement. Before I can use these objects in my own class library, I'm going to import something. Imports system.data.oladb. That will give me access to the ADO commands that I need, or to be more precise, it'll give me access to the ActiveX Data Objects. I'm going to declare a string variable to hold my insert command. Now that's not going to work as it is. I need to replace these values with the properties of my class. So I just need to manipulate this string a little bit now. I'm going to break it apart here, and here, and here. And I'll change these into the properties of the class. And that seems okay. So that will insert first name, last name and date of birth into the people table. I'm not worrying about the ID field because that's an auto number. Access will take care of that for me. Now I'm going to specify the path to the database in a string. So that's where the database is. And now for my connection string. Now the truth is I can never remember a connection string. I've got that written down and I'm referring to it. There are plenty of websites out there where you can find the connection string you need for your particular database management system. This is the one for Access 2010. Now I need a connection object. And I'll set its connection string property to the connection string I've just defined. And I'll open the connection. So when that command executes, my program will have access to the database. Now I need a command object to fire my insert statement at the database. I'll set its connection property. The command text. And finally, execute the command. And for good measure, we'll close the connection at the end. Now, because this method is a function, I need to return a true or a false. Actually, that's quite important in this case because there's a lot of scope for this to go wrong. So let's put it all inside a try-catch block. And if it works, we'll return true. And if it doesn't, we'll return false. So there we go, another overload of the method, but this time a little bit more sophisticated. We're saving the data into a database. Let's rebuild it and see what happens. We'll call it from the front end. You can see I've got 4 overloads now, and this is the one I'm interested in. Let's give it a whirl. Now we didn't get a message back, so that's not looking terribly promising. Let's give it a go without the try-catch block so we can find out what's going wrong. To be honest, I didn't expect this to work first time. The Microsoft ACE OLEDB 12.0 provider is not registered on the local machine. That looks like I typed the connection string wrong. Let's take a quick look. And I've just spotted the problem. I spelt Microsoft wrong. Easy mistake to make. Let's try again. Another problem. Could not find the output table people. And I think that's because I called the table TBL people. And again. Saved in database. That's better. Quick check to see it really has worked. I'll open up that database and take a look inside. And there are my property details written into the table. I just need to pop all of this lot back into a try-catch block. So there you have it, a method overload that will use ADO to write the property details of an object into a database. In the next video of this series, I'll be talking about constructors.